Hello, everybody. Lex the Gray here. Welcome back to another session for the Shadows of Darkain. Now, this is officially session one. In the last video, I made the mistake of calling it chapter zero. I meant to say session zero, and I think I closed out by calling it episode zero. So I'm going to try to refer to these as sessions. Now, this being session one, we are officially starting the narrative. We are going to be starting the actual story of this campaign. So, in session zero, where we started, our team, which will be in this little tavern here, fairly moderately sized tavern. It has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so tables. There's a large table right here, the party of six. The middle bar is in the center in this island here. There's some crates here, scattered chairs, some highboys. But there's a party of three here. There's two at the bar. This is the bartender, who we haven't really developed yet. Party of six and the party of three. This is our party right here. We're always going to be the green die. Now, if our group ever gets separated from, within 20 feet or so, because my maps will be usually pretty small until I bring out the board, um, I'll have more dice with just a one representing one party member. But uh, the white die, these frost die, are civilians, just NPCs that we haven't spoken to yet. So, from the top, our party was celebrating the recently elected new Lord, Lord Balthazar. With a very respectable reputation, Lord Balthazar promised to bring tranquility, peace along the kingdom and the lands above. So our party is celebrating at the Maiden's Claw. I changed the name before from the Maid's Skull to the Maiden's Claw. Now let's figure out who owns this tavern, who owns the Maiden's Claw. Let's bring out Maze Rats here, and then we will jot down a name for the owner. Let's do NPC and owned by. Most likely will be the white die right here in the center. So I'm thinking because it's a Maiden's Claw, it'll be a female character. So female name, let's roll our 2d6. Red is the list, blue is the choice. So 4, 6. Orchid. Orchid works with me. It's owned by Orchid. And so Orchid is a, let's give her a trait, just one, to really kind of, we'll expand on her character if need be, but her goal in life, let's figure that out. Her purpose of owning a bar, or owning a tavern, let's see, what would be good here? There's plenty to choose from, but I'm thinking NPC goals. So 5, 6, so that's table 5, option 6. Serve a deity, she's very religious. Okay, so she's very religious as a person. Maybe she used to be a worshiper of a cult and she's gone straight. She's now just a respectful business owner. And we are enjoying some drinks, reminiscing about our past lives, our childhoods, when we were all friends. So I'm assuming all of our characters, player characters, Ellis, Red, Clovis, and Jules are all lifelong friends or childhood friends that kind of reconvened, caught up after the festival of life, the celebration of the lectureship of the Lordship Balthazar. And they ran into each other, just probably casually, just coincidentally, or perhaps it was destiny. But nevertheless, they decided to, after the celebrations, after the festivities outside, it was getting late, and they decided to get some drinks. So they're just here casually enjoying themselves, nothing really out of the ordinary. And while they're chit chatting, we're going to roll to see what happens. So let's roll on this table and see what exactly goes down as they are chit chatting. So we're going to roll action. And thankfully, thank you to a certain commenter in an earlier video. I was making the mistake of mostly rolling on one of these sides of the Discover meeting. You're supposed, well, obviously you can go about this as you want, but it seems recommended to roll both of it because that gives you better context. So I'll be trying that now. So again, thank you to the commenter who pointed that out to me. Our first one is 57, which is going to be harm. Okay, that sounds like an encounter incoming. And then 72, harm peaceful. Someone is going to come in here and cause a ruckus. And I feel like perhaps it's going to be a few drunken guards or some drunky, rowdy individuals. Now, is this potential ruckus going to be caused from one of the patrons inside the tavern at this very moment? I'm going to say very likely because we have several. It's definitely busy, but it's more. There are more isolated groups of people. It's not just a completely full dive bar, you know, shoulder to shoulder. There's groups of people in their own respective places. But will this rowdiness occur within the tavern itself? I'm saying very likely, which is a 16 to 75% chance. So let's see what happens. 43. So it is going to occur from the inside the bar. Now I believe there is if you roll a double, you generate a random event, which we didn't do. That's something else I miss quite often. But this is just a regular run of the mill. Yes, I'm gonna say. Let's see. We have one, two, three, four groups currently in the area besides ourselves, excluding ourselves. I'm gonna roll a d4. I'll use a red because I like to use red for the environment outside our control. One, two, three, or let's do one, two, three, four. That's the order, whichever number it is. Two. Okay, so it's the smallest party out of the four that I mentioned, and these two perhaps are going to get into a fight. I'm thinking that well, let's see what they're fighting about. So I'm going to put a little like a little angry kind of in anime that little like a veins throbbing symbol next to the die, like in anime when you see that on the top of someone's head, like they're irritated. So let's roll what they're fighting about. 34. Looking at delay. Okay, something was delayed. It's peaceful. Remember, we're harming. So 28. Delay extravagant. Something delayed extravagant. One of these patrons was supposed to delay extravagant. Extravagant, I'm thinking wedding or some kind of ceremony, and they missed it. These two right here, this is a couple. Let's say this is a couple. This is just a married couple, whatever. They are arguing because they missed the festivities from earlier. The night, the election, whatever, how it went, the knighting of the new lord, however, happened earlier in the day, which everyone else most likely attended, even us. But maybe the husband got drunk early in the tavern. The wife walked in, saw him. Maybe she just walked in. Maybe just a few moments ago she walked in. She's whispering to him, "You have been here for half of the half. You've been here since morning. You are wasting our gold. We missed the ceremony or you missed the ceremony because of your alcoholism." So she's tapping him on the shoulder. She's being a little aggressive towards him, and he's just drunk. This guy, maybe it's just an overweight big buffoon who he's holding his yell, and she's kind of whispering at him, and then maybe he pushes her back. She stumbles back, and then she falls back on a chair, and then she gets up, starts yelling and screaming at him, and saying, "You are a lazy bum. You don't do anything at the house. Because of you, you missed the most important time of the year, and you are blah blah blah." She's just going off on him, and let's see. Does he react? How does he react? Let's roll another action. 0. We got to re-roll for that. 94. Stop. Okay, that gives me an idea. 48. Stop. Stop lacking. So he stop lacking. He's lacking. She wants him to stop lacking. So maybe that's what she says. She said, "You have to stop lacking in life. You are a loser. You are wasting my time." And so he gets up, and maybe he pushes his stool falls back on the floor, and he grabs her by not he grabs her by the arm and starts yelling. Remember, he's drunk, so he's like starts yelling on top of his lungs to leave him alone. He has every right to be here. You are. She calls her a bitch and all the above. They're just having this rowdy fight now. The bartender, I'm thinking if she, a bartender who is going to be Orchid, she is an older lady. She's been around the block for quite some time, so she's very used to these kind of antics. And let's see what she does. I'm going to think that she will intervene, or if these are regulars. You know, that's a good question, I think, Oracle. Are these two, this old married couple, maybe old married, let's say probably 50s, 60s in modern times, age-wise, just a representation of their age? Are they a are they at least is the husband a regular here? I'm going to say nearly certain he is. Yep, nearly certain he is a regular here. So um, I think Orchid is going to walk up slowly while she's doing the usual cleaning the bottle, what have you, and she tries to intervene, saying, can you two please keep it down? You are um, scaring off my customers, my patrons." And she says, "Especially you." And now we need a name for the drunk, or maybe okay. For now, let's just say especially. She looks at the husband and says, "Especially you." And the wife looks to Orchid, and she says, "Thank you." And now the husband is now it's 2-1, so now he flips out. He he throws his ale. I keep saying Yale. He throws the law degree. He throws his ale at Orchid. Orchid steps back. She has ale all over her. She kind of does this with her arm. She's like, "That's it. Get the f out of my tavern." And then the husband, the rowdy drunk, goes up to the bar and says, he points to her and says, "Make me. I'm not going anywhere, you dumb boop." And the wife is she's just in disbelief. She says, "What is wrong with you, you worthless piece?" And then he is about to raise her hand up, but I think that's when one of us are going to intervene because this guy's about to hit a woman, and I think one of my characters is just nice enough, just brave enough to step in when things were about to get physical here. So let's see what happens. Who would step in to help to stop a drunk man from hitting a woman? And like I said, this is going to be very picky here. So we have Heartless, definitely not Clovis. Frumpy, Deserter. Well, it's probably not Jules. All these characters are. I'm thinking Ellis is probably going to be. Yeah, because Red is. He rambles, nervous. He's nervous. Wisecracking, Heartless. I think Know It All. Ellis is going to step in, but not in the way you think. Now, Nellis steps in. Ellis, sorry. And I do apologize, the context is very almost like rated R-ish. But he steps in. He walks up to her quickly, like he gets up in his bar stool. He pulls out his, he shows his longsword, and then he, puts his hand in front of the wife, kind of separating them both, and he says, "Don't even think about it, bub." He puts his hand. How do you talk? Okay, deep voice. He's like, "Don't even think about it." He has, he's a tall guy, athletic, really well in shape, shaved head. Obviously, he's seen a thing or two in his life, and this is intimidation. This is gonna be an actual skill roll. So we're gonna roll plus 1 for willpower to try to. Let's put our group is separated, so let's flip this to 3. Where's 3 at? Where are you at, 3? There you are. So now we have Alice is right over here. And let's roll willpower. Now, if we're going with my World of Dungeons house rule for Maze Rats, it's going to be 6 or less as a fail, 7 through 9 is a partial, 10, 11 is a success, 12 plus is a critical. So, +1. That is going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a high partial success. He does lower his hands, seeing that we are this big brute that comes on. So, perfect choice, by the way. This big brute comes in to protect the maiden, or I guess she's not really a maiden. She is married, well, supposedly married to him. Um, and the helpless wife is she's kind of says thank you to Ellis, and but the husband, the drunk rowdy husband, does lower his hand, but he pulls a knife out. Like he doesn't point it at Ellis because there's a high partial success. He pulls a knife out in general. He says, "Oh, what are you gonna do about it? You don't mind your own." He's like, "Oh, looks like we have someone playing hero, basically trying to taunt us while he's drunk." And Ellis is looking at the bartender. Now, question is, are we regulars here? I'm thinking that we are all from Riverport, which is a big city on I'm guessing the coastline or on a river, coastline-ish, like a bay perhaps, where there's a river going through it. But are we regulars here? Is are we known here? Like, because Ellis's impression might change when she, or sorry, Orchid might change depending on. I'm wondering what Orchid's reaction is to us trying to help. So let's see what her reaction is going to be. If this is an open-ended question or is Ellis? Let's see what she does. I'm wondering. Not Ellis. I'm sorry. Orchid. 73. Negative. Uh-oh. Okay, that's not gonna be. Oh, we can't do twice in a row here. Negative 16. So damage. Oh, okay. So she's pissed off at the fact that maybe um, she doesn't want her tavern, to be known for violence. She says, if you two have beef, take this shit outside. So, and she's pointing to both of us, like Ellis and the drunk. The wife is silent. I don't think she's wants to really get in between this big hulking, supposedly hero, Ellis, and her drunk husband. Now, it's clear the wife is not a big fan of her husband at the moment. Now, does the drunk? He's drunk, so his obviously his train of thought would be impacted. Is he going to threaten us to take us outside? Let's say, I'm going to say, does he? We are certainly willing to, I think. I believe, let's see, what's our character like? Know-it-all? Okay, so he's a know-it-all. He looks to the bartender. No, I'm sorry, he looks to the drunk and says, I've done this shit more than you can count. Or I've done this more than you know. I've done this and this, like he's talking about his past victories. I've slain dragons. I've killed orcs twice your size. Blah blah blah. He's a know-it-all. So he's like, and he says you're drunk. You have a 10% chance of even pulling your weapon out or like pulling any kind of move at all. He barely walks. And the drunk man, I'm gonna say the drunk is he's drunk, so he's impaired. So he's gonna basically want to fight. He says fine, he spits onto the floor. He says let's take this outside, and then suddenly he's British. So we're both gonna go outside. Our group is just watching as it's happening, and so our group in general, let's see. So we both go outside. This is now the wife. She's gonna be one here. Oh, you know what? There she'll come. She will follow. We're both going outside, and then I open the door. I'm like, after you. And then the drunk, he's like, yeah, you. And then we both go outside. So now we're outside. Our group. I'm gonna think we pay the tab, and we leave. Everyone is watching. The bartender, the Orchid, uh, is kind of standing at the corner watching everyone leave. So now we're outside, and the drunk is basically saying, uh, "What's with them? Are they with you?" And then he basically, Ellis will say, "They're just spectators." The wife is probably standing up a little to the right here, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep the two as it is. So we don't. I don't think we necessarily want to kill. Ellis doesn't. I don't think we're going to harm this citizen, this individual of Riverport. I think this is going to be like a battle of wits, perhaps, or just a way to taunt him. So he's drunk, he's stumbling, he has his knife pulled, and this is where I'm going to roll I'm going to roll to see what happens with the general area of things. So we're outside the bar. We're outside the tavern. It's about it's about sunset. Okay, so 29 is going to be 29 is deceit. Okay, that might actually pay off. 39, 36. Sorry. Deceit, 36. Deceit and fool. Oh, okay. So is the drunk being deceitful? Hmm. I think the drunk is having second thoughts. He sees my comrades right behind me with no weapons drawn. They're just kind of doing their own little poses, maybe crossing arms. One's leaning against the wall. One has his arms behind, like in front of him, like just kind of observing. And the drunk is looking at his wife. She's like shaking her head in disappointment, in disapproval. And then, so our guy is going to um, tell the drunk, "You might want to think this through once more," like that. So, and we're gonna roll. This will be a will check. More so a morale check even for the drunk because I think he's outclassed at the moment and outmatched. So let's roll. It's a +1, and ooh, that's actually really good. That's a 10. So we are able to successfully, I'd say, scare off using the simple terms here. Scare off uh, the drunk with our bruteness, with our appearance of being a seasoned adventurer, even though our character's almost level 0 at this point. Ellis, he stands up tall, he flexes his muscles, and he's looking directly into the eyes of the drunk. He's like, he's like, you might want to think twice about what you're going to try to do to me. He's like, you might want to think twice about what's happening here. And then he actually has his long sword grip about to unsheath it, and he's staring him down, and that's where our 10 roll came in. So the drunk, he's looking around again. He looks at our spectators, he looks at his disapproving wife, and he's having second thoughts, and almost like he's about to throw up. And there's a barrel right here. There's a couple barrels outside. He turns around like he's beginning to gasp, or he's beginning to like throw up. He turns around, runs to the barrel, and throws up just into the barrel, and you can hear it across the you can hear it across town. And we're all laughing. The wife is just like, this is embarrassing. Like she's covering her face. And then Ellis is gonna tell his wife, take him home. Let him get some rest, drink some water. This has been enough for him. I know he doesn't want. He's definitely not a fighter. And the wife is like, I'm going to do that. And then she grabs and then she grabs her husband's shoulders, and while he finishes throwing up, he kind of pulls him up and says, "Okay, you loudmouth idiot, we're going home." And then she takes him back home. So I don't know if it's an abusive relationship. I'm not gonna go that deep. That could be really awkward for some viewers. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It was almost to physical abuse, but I'm gonna just push that backstory subplot aside, and say that we successfully saved a woman's life, in a way, and we stopped a fight from really happening. So I'm gonna take that die out of the play, and Ellis smile. He's kind of happy for himself. He's like, he tells his colleagues, we're back to 4, by the way. Where's 4 at? Ellis tells his colleagues, "See, I told you guys I can handle this." And they're like, "We never doubted you. We never doubted you." And let's see who says that. Let's see, Red says that. He rambles, says, "I never doubted you, buddy." So we walk back inside, doors open, and everyone is looking at us. The let's say Orchid is kind of halfway. She's at the washer in the middle of the island, and she's drying off for herself her hair. She turns around, she sees us, and let's see what her impression is, or her impression is on us for walking back in. Obviously, she doesn't know exactly what happened. Maybe a few of these people were looking through the window. Let's see what happens. 90. That's going to be a setback. 2. Artificial setback. Okay. So she's saying, she basically said that could have been really bad for business. You guys do know this. And then Ellis and team walk up to the bar and says, "Don't worry, we handled it with not a single punch thrown. The chicken backed off. He's out of here." And then she's like, "Okay, that's good enough for me." And then she goes back to business. She's basically just drying herself off. So, uh, combat evaded. We didn't want to kill off an innocent citizen. Our characters are generally not chaotic, good or evil to any nature. Um, but I'd say that was a good way to evade combat in general. So while we're going back into the bar, um, let's roll to see what happens now. So we're back in the tavern. We already paid for our drinks. 97 surprise. Okay, surprise. 97 27. So 97 27. Extravagant. Something extravagant happens. Um, ooh, okay. This could be good. So something extravagant happens. It could be, is it going to be let's see what it is. 98. Something valuable, something extravagant happens. So something valuable happens. I think that one of these, one of these patrons right here notices that the drunk man. Oh no! Oh, here we go. The wife left her purse or left her bag. She walked in. She rushed in here. She left her pouch on the table here. So there's a pouch right here, and one of these guys walks over. He's kind of slowly sneaking over. He stands near the bar. Now let's roll a perception check to see, or will to see, because he's kind of looking through. It's a surprise. We don't expect this to happen, but this patron walks up and kind of is looking through the pouch. I'm gonna roll a perception or a will check for one of my characters. Let's see who has the highest, or who would notice this most likely. I think Clovis would notice this. He has the highest will. Okay, let's see if we can spot it. Okay, so +2, so 4, 6, 8. We do, so Clovis sees it, but he sees the individual here kind of rummaging through the pouch. But he is smart. I'll give him that. I think he does connect the dots that belongs to her. But what is the setback going to be? That's the thing. We need a setback. Where's my D100s at? So let's see here. So 71, the setback is going to be something with nature. Okay. 71, 65. New. It's something new happens. The setback in the current situation, while our character notices something nature new. Maybe it's going to be snowing outside, perhaps? No, heavy rain. So there's a downpour of rain outside. And let's say it's been raining for. I don't think we did a weather check earlier in the day. It's nighttime, but let's say, has it been raining for most of the day, like after the festival stopped, concluded? Let's say 50-50. I just don't know. It has not been raining earlier in the day. So now it is, I'm going to say it starts raining very heavy outside. Maybe there's thunder. So a storm cell just rolled in. And our characters look outside because maybe rain is not common, or I'd say maybe it is. It's a coastline city. It's a coastal, so most likely rain is common. But it's very fierce. Like this rainstorm just popped out of nowhere, and I already have an idea for why. This heavy rainstorm outside. There is hail. There's thunder. You can hear the thunder. It shakes the whole entire tavern. Like the drinks hanging off the top of the cellar, they're shaking. Thunder again, lightning, perhaps like a flash of lightning outside, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what the hell's going on out there?" So, and the guy who is stealing, he does take some things out of the bag while looking, because our character, we did see that again, partial success. We did see the individual stealing, but it's a partial, which means that we're not going to really be able to stop him at the moment because of this distraction. So this distraction is going to be the storm. Now, the storm is so bad that Orchid mentions Let's do a will check for her to see what she pays attention to. Does she notice, first off, does she notice the storm or the individual looking through the pouch? She just has a do a flat. Nope, she does not see it at all. She's distracted by the storm. She's over here, uh, near the end of the island. She's looking out the window. She's kind of has her hands on the and or she's an older lady, a little short. She's standing up. She's like, look at the window. The door is like the doors are flap door. They're flap doors, so they're kind of moving the wind like this, like they're closing to her like this. And she's like, my gosh, I've never seen a storm like that. I've been here before. I've lived here for 50 years. And we're regulars. I mean, we live in the area, so we all agree with her. Like, yeah, this is very unusual. Uh, then Clovis turns back around, and that individual is gone. He's back with his group. Or let's say, did he go back with his group? Well, I'm going to keep the one on the side here. Did the individual go back um, to his group? I'm going to say 60, let's say very likely. I have an idea if he didn't. He did. Okay, he did. All right. So I was saying like he goes to the storage room to like took the pouch, but no, he left the pouch, and now he took whatever he took, stole it, maybe some gold pieces, and he went back in there. So, our character, uh, Clovis, is going to, while the storm is happening outside, he's going to stray away from the group. So we have to put a 3 in here. There we go. He walks over to the pouch and he lets the. How does he talk? He chuckles. He laughs. He's like, he laughs. Okay, yeah, like I didn't see that. And so he picks the pouch up. Now, are we going to? Is Orchid going to? Sorry, is Clovis even going to dare to approach these 6 patrons of whoever they are, and say, one of you just took from this pouch, and I want to know who? Or is he going to tell the Orchid about what he just witnessed while she's distracted by the storm that just popped out of nowhere? So I'm going to put it's a heavy rain, heavy rain outside, storm. Yep, so storm. Okay. Now, is he going to? I'm thinking. Let's see. How is our character? He's rumpled. He's heartless. You know what? He chuckles. He laughs. He looks at the pouch. He is a. He's not a hero, but he's on the side of good. I'm generally thinking my characters are on the side of good. Maybe he's chaotic. Maybe he is going to be chaotic good in a way, but he's heartless. I don't think he really cares about the stealing, but he looks at the pouch, he picks it, he laughs. Um, Orchid looks over, hears the laugh, and he says, "What are you laughing about?" What? She walks over curiously, and Clovis says, he laughs again. He goes, "I see that the wife from earlier left her pouch here," and so but he doesn't mention that anyone stole it. Now the guy over here is getting nervous. He looks at us two talking, but he cannot hear what's going on because of the storm, because of just general chatter. Everyone's kind of looking at the storm. Maybe not the entire time, but uh, Clovis is just holding the pouch up, and he hands it over uh, to Orchid, and he says, "You might want to keep an eye on this." He starts laughs again, and he walks over to the team. So we're back to 4. Now, she takes it and then she puts it in some kind of lost and found cubby, and she's like, "Thank you." But she has an odd expression because we're laughing about it, because Clovis was laughing about it, and she goes over back to maybe just prepping some drinks. And so moments later, while the storm is ravaging, let's roll to see what happens. This might be our final action for this video. 12, okay, because I don't want to be in a tavern the entire time. So change, that might be good. 80. Reassuring. Okay, so maybe it's getting late, and our team is change reassuring. Okay, so the I'm trying to think what reassuring would do. Change reassuring. To reassure ourselves, but change is needed. To change something that's reassuring. I'm thinking that there's another flash of lightning, and it flashes really loud. The thunder is it's fierce, loud, and lightning flash can be seen outside. There's a flashlight, and lightning strikes right outside, and we hear a loud boom, and everyone, the patrons, suddenly look up and look back, and some are running outside to see what happened. They hear an explosion, and so these three leave. These three leave. Maybe most of this party kind of gets up and walks over to the doorway. There's a large group. Um, she let's see, what would Orchid do? I know we would walk outside, so we're outside now. Orchid probably would be maybe goes around she goes through the little flap you open the bar on. It's right here. So she walks through, and everyone's outside now. So we're all outside the tavern. Now let me go ahead and I think the rest of this will be theater of the mind. So we're outside the moment, and there was a loud lightning strike. So we're outside. Let's see what happened. We heard the lightning hit something. So 39 enemies. Uh-oh, okay. Oh, I have an idea. 39, 66. So that is going to be a double. So uh, I think. Never mind. That only works on the tables, I believe. But we can always do that too. New enemies appear. Okay, so we have some enemies appear. Okay, interesting. I like this. So that lightning strike spawns something. That's our random event. So, um, outside tavern, lightning strike. Where the lightning struck, the ground is like blackened out. There's this very dark energy on the ground, and something spawns from it. Like there's a creature that kind of comes out of it, like the dark dimension pops out of it, and it spawns a creatures. Let's think of how many creatures it spawns. So let's see, one. Okay, so one creature. So one creature spawns. Okay, so everyone starts to scatter. They scream. She runs back in the bar, Orchid. The crowd runs away. People outside it's late, so not everyone's outside. Many of the patrons from the bar runs away. And the reassuring part, she says, well, it looks like I'm closing early. So she closes the doors and locks up. So that's the reassuring part that I wanted to get there for the video. So our party is now a potential encounter. I'm going to say they are definitely an encounter. So let's go ahead and make the creatures. And I'll go ahead and get the battle map set up. Okay, so here's the battle map. It's not exactly to size with the tavern, but I figured this kind of looks like a building here with an attached side and some other buildings in the big old city of Riverport. But here's the creature. It's going to be a level 6. It's going to be an armor of 6. Now, as far as characters go, like I said, they're split up now. Our player characters are in line with their numbers. So Ellis is 1, Red is 2, 3 is Clovis, 4 is Jules. So that's how they're lined up in order as far as their initiative or their general link to a battle map in the future parts of the series. So let's go ahead and create the creature using maze mats, maze rats. I guess this would be a maze mat too. But we're going to get my pencil or my pen here. Okay, now monsters creation in this is just absolutely fascinating. It's just random animals, creatures being put together like a Lego. Okay, first we gotta at least find the monsters page. Give me one moment, just flip into the book here. It's small, so it's a little hard to. There we go. Okay, so I chose level 6 already for it, so we're gonna be rolling. Let's see. I'm thinking it's not an aquatic creature. It's gonna be a terrestrial or aerial. So let's roll with the usual arrangement. It's gonna be a 1/4, so that it's gonna be an aerial. Okay, so it's a flying creature. All right, so now it'll be 4/4. So we're looking at it's a mantis with wings, most likely. Aerial creature, mantis. So it's a mantis. And then anything else we want to combine it with? 4/3. I would say it's a flying mantis. It's a mantis. It's a flying mantis with demonic wings, with demonic like devil wings. Okay, it's just an evil looking demonic, but it has like red glowing eyes for some reason. Red glowing eyes. It's still raining out, so there will be some disadvantage at things. But it spawned out of this portal. The portal disappears, and just this one single creature is now here. Now it's a weak character. It's a one D character from the book here. It's going to be armored 6, which is it's just unarmored. It won't have anything special. It's just a regular demon. So this is our first creature we're fighting. And now let's go ahead and jump to the mat. So we're rolling initiative because this is a very, very casual start. So put Maze Rats back there. All right, got my pencil for health. Let's jump right in. So we're going to roll for initiative against 2D for both sides. Okay, so here we go. All right, so I'm going to count my dexterity on this one. At least my highest dexterity would be +2 from any of them. So we did a 3, 4, 5, but the mantis beat us. So the flying mantis has wings. What are the rules for moving in this game? I think it's like 20 feet. I don't think there is actually stated in combat. That might be up to the GM. Let's see. Combat. I don't see a mention regarding moving, so we'll just say 20 feet. All right, so Mantis flies to, let's see, let's attack 4. 4 is going to be Jules. Okay, so 5, 10, sorry, 5, 10, 15. Yep, it's going to attack Jules. Okay, so Jules has an armor of 8. I'm going to pull Jules' character sheet here. It's going to attack right here, and that's going to be a block. So it's not able to hit Jules. It's just a block. Okay, now we're going to attack it. Jules, let's say Ellis goes first. So Ellis will attack first. Ellis gets closer. We're going to strike it. Ellis is going to use longsword. That's a +1 on a damage only. Attack bonus 1. So it hits, and that's going to be. Remember, in my house rules, I don't do the actual total, the difference which the game does. I might sometimes, but for this case, it will just be a 1 damage plus the other damage for the longsword, so that's 2 damage. So let's track its health. I don't think I'm tracking its health. We'll do a red die for that. Let's use this die because it's a little more distinct. So 4 on top of that. Okay, now it attacks, or I think all of us attack. We'll do per the party. So I think similar to Karen rules, everybody in the party rolls, and the highest result is taken. So I'm going to keep this off to the side. So we dealt 2 damage. I think that's the most anyone can actually do. So let's see what red does. That's going to be a hit. Red has a +2 rolls for dagger. I'm trying to roll for perfect, which would be double damage, so that's going to be the same. Clovis attacks. That's a hit. Clovis has a long spear, so that's +1. That's also 2. That's going to be a block with a no attack bonus from Jules. So 2 damage. And I'm not actually decreasing the armor this time. I'm going to keep the armor the same. So that's its health. So now the creature is going to move back, and then it spits a energy blast or fireball at Ellis. Or let's roll a d4 and see who attacks. Actually, let's try that. We're going to roll a d4 and see who doesn't want to attack. 2. It shoots a fireball at red. Red is okay, so this will be just a general attack. All right, that's a critical. So 1, 2, that's 2 damage for red. So red takes 2 HP, 2 health, hit. Okay, now it's our turn. We'll do a group attack of, let's see, 1 bonus. Ellis is going to 5, 10, 15, go up to him and attack. That's a miss, it's a fail. 2, red doesn't get some revenge. We'll run up 5, 10, 15, 20. Going to attack from an angle. That is a block, 6 armor on this creature. I guess I could just remember it, so I'm going to keep this die in here. And this creature just has 4. So remember, it has 6 armor, and the health was 6 at start. So HP 6. I'm sorry, HP was 6. Armor is also 6. So it's a D6 character, D6 creature. Okay, so Elias is going, or Red is going to attack. Oh yeah, I forgot. It already failed. So then 3, Clovis is going to run up. 5, 10, 15, 20. Attack the creature with a long spear. So plus no attack bonus, but a +1 on damage. That's also a fail. And then Jules, 5, 10, 15, 20, is going to use dagger. I have a longbow. I totally forgot that I can shoot from a range. Well, too late now. Okay, it hits. That's just and it is just a regular damage. So 1 hit, down to 3. The creature swipes at 1 again. So swipes at Ellis. Let's see if Ellis can block it or miss. That's a good hit. That's 1 damage against Ellis. So Ellis takes 1 health damage. Okay, it's our turn. Ellis is going to attack back with a long sword, +1 damage and +1 attack bonus. So that hits, and that's 2 damage. Where was I? Shoot, I forgot. Dang it. I think 3. We'll say 3. I'm sorry, it was at 4, so that's 2. Okay, so 2 damage with the regular difference, 1, and then the longsword has 2 damage. Okay, so now it's going to be Red's turn. This is definitely not a fair game. Red's going to strike. Oh, that's a hit. Red uses dagger twice. So we'll do it twice. Okay, only the first one hit, so that's down to 1. Next is number 3. That's going to be Clovis. Clovis uses Clovis is going to back up and use the spear. Use the long. Oh no, I'm sorry. There is a long spear. Never mind. I was confusing it with the bow. Okay, long spear. That is going to be a block. 4 is our long range fighter. I'm sorry, ranger. 5, 10, 15. We're over here, and he pulls the bow and fires. Let's see if it hits. That is a hit. Longbow is 2 damage total, or 1 standard and then the extra damage. And so the bow strikes right through the mantis's head, and it vaporizes, disappears, like a cosmic dust, turns and shatters, and the storm above calms down just a bit. And so our team successfully vanquished their first monster encounter, in not the wild, but the first monster encounter. So they're now outside, and let's note down what happened as I'll put the battle map away. Okay, so our team is gathering themselves outside the tavern. The tavern, the lady locked Orchard locked the door. So we defeated the creature. Creature didn't drop anything because it was a magically dark magic summoned creature. Defeat the flying mantis. All right. And now they're thinking, who the hell spawned it? So they're looking around, and I'm going to do a perception roll. So it will, or I'll just use, yeah, I think Clovis has been my go-to for perception checks, perception-related checks. Oh, whoops, I'm using my blue die instead. Where's my blue die? There we go. It has to be official blue die. So +2 on this roll. 6, and then 8, so that's a partial. He looks up. He's looking. Everyone's looking around, but he spots um, on top of a hillside that there's a glowing light at night. Like there's a shining flare, and the flare disappears over the hillside. So, and the storm starts to calm down a bit, and they're wondering if this lightning bolt summoned this creature, this hellish creature, onto our land. We heard lightning from earlier. Most likely there's other creatures around town. We need to check. And this is coming from, well, I don't think, who would talk like that? I think that's actually I'm going to do the in voice of Clovis because he knows. He says, I just saw a light right up there on top of the hill. I'm sure of it. I just saw a light up there. And then Jules interrupts. He says, you're joking, right? It's raining out. How that it could have been anything. You see a light just randomly in the distance. And he interrupted him, saying that he's like, please, you've gone blind, my friend. Red rambles and says, well, probably it was maybe just someone's mirror, traveler's mirrors on a wagon, just reflecting the light from the sunset. They probably bounced down. He starts like rambling on, talking to himself. Ellis, the deep voice, the know-it-all, the leader, obviously of this group, he's looking around. We'll do a perception check for himself, +1. He's looking around. That's gonna be a 6, 7, 8. So that's the same thing from before. He noticed. He sees that, or he thinks this is more of I guess, a knowledge check in nature. He's like, if there were lightning more than one, there's a deep voice. If there more than we know for a fact there was more than one lightning strike during that storm. I'm thinking if what we just experienced happened elsewhere in town, we need to see right away. There could be innocents at danger, and so everyone's like, "Oh, yep, you got to play hero." So, uh, other lightning strikes. Sorry, my music stopped some time ago. I forgot to replay it. So other lightning strikes might have spawned other hellish creatures. A little star here. This is a note for my next video, even though I'm talking about it also on video in video form. But other creatures around town. Let's say it did. Let's consult the oracle. Did the lightning strikes? Where's my D100? Here it is. You know what? I'm thinking I'm actually using the wrong dice because I'm noting it now. D99. Let's pull my dice out here. I'm gonna pull my other D9er. Or, I'm sorry, my D10. Where are you? D10s. There it is. I'm sorry. I think I'm doing this whole thing wrong. Only other white one I have is that. Let's use the gold one. There we go. Okay, that's better. So let's roll to see. Nearly certain. So, I'm sorry, certain. Did lightning strikes conjure any other creatures around town? 42. Gold will be first. It did. Okay, so it did indeed conjure other creatures around town. So I'm gonna write down it did. Let's do a d6. How many other creatures did it spawn? We'll do this for an enemy. And 5. Ooh, 5 creatures. Okay. 5 other points of interest creatures. We don't know how many creatures within those points, but I'm more thinking within points. So, um, our team, they can hear screaming in the distance. The storm did clear a bit, but it is nighttime, and our team hears screaming in the distance. So, that's where I'm going to leave off this episode. This number episode, or I should say, session one of Shadows of Darkain. So, um, wow, that was to me that was fantastic. I loved it. We had a little drama in the bar, in the tavern, kind of slow. Lightning strike outside. We run out. There's a hellish creature. We defeated him. We only suffered some minor damage. Red took 2 hits, and that's pretty much it. Red was the. Oh no, yep, no. Ellis did take 1 hit too. So that was great. Yeah, we definitely had a really good encounter, and that was it for this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm still thinking if G100 is fine, because let's talk a little about this engine here, this Oracle. So basically, um, I just want to keep my dice really close by. So you can stop the video now. If you enjoyed the video, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time on Shadows of Darkain. But if just in regards to one-page Mythic, it says if you roll doubles, and if we ever do, I guess it would make sense. If I roll the 44, I can tell it's a double. So I think this is fine. D100 or my D10 percentile is fine. So I'll stick with what I've been doing so far. I need to keep an eye on this mechanic of the one-page or Mythic until I actually get the Game Master emulator, Mythic Game Master emulator second edition in the mail in probably a week or two. So that will take me some time to get used to because I've never used it before in a video. But yeah, that's it, guys. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time in the next video.